What's going on, Jerome's Minnesota Vikings training camp rolls along on down the line, and we're starting to see some separation and some stratification. And we said before, like, superstars are great, but training camp and preseason really is all about the fringe roster guys, the guys pulling themselves up by their bootstraps, maybe lowly drafted, maybe not drafted at all, but making a name for themselves, working up from the practice squad, the rooster. Maybe they have their place in the sun and busting their ass, and you love it, man. Really, really respect it. And also, labels are important. So the Earl of Eagan. Now, this is an offshoot of the Mr. Mankato Award that's been around for years, local media creation. And basically what it is, it's rewarding the heart and hustle, bottom of the roster type guy. And it's something that's amazing, something you look forward to every year. And again, we love underdog stories. That's right. So, guys, all heart, all hustle, all grit. Last year, of course, the winner was Ivan Pace Jr. And it wasn't even close because Pace had looked good during OTAs. It just came in and laid waste to training camp. So it was over really quick. I mean, I guess maybe Najee Thompson got into the mix as well, but it was over. Ryan Wright won the year before and blah, blah, blah. Right. So basic rules, parameters, not really rules, more like guidelines. So generally, young player, ideally rookie deal, either a non-star or not highly drafted at all. So, I mean, McCarthy and Turner, you expect them to be good because they're first-round picks. So it's like, hey, and also exceeding expectations. So player comes in with lowered expectations, and all of a sudden it's like, ooh, you got some nice. Bonus points for hustle and grit as well. Now, it was kind of tough. So we narrowed it down to a top 9. Yeah, 9. Really good at math. And even guys like Ty Chandler, who in year 3 hopefully is going to take a big leap. Like, he easily could have made the list. But, I mean, there's a couple of guys that have really stepped up and made the most of their opportunities. Starting from the bottom now here. So, Will Rackard. Now, you could say on one hand, 6th-round pick, sure, but also, I mean, he's the first place kicker taken in this year's draft and also had high expectations, already won the kicking job. So, I mean, almost to a degree, because he's good, like, he kind of rules himself out already. So, sort of is what it is. Number 8, defensive lineman Jaquelin Roy, last year's 5th-round pick out of LSU. In year 2, hopefully going to make some noise along that defensive line, and the Vikings certainly could use some interior pass rush. I wonder if LDR is going to be making the list. Also, you could toss Jonah Williams on there too, except I think he aged out a little bit, so I don't know. Again, more guidelines than rules. Next up, number 7. So edge rusher Owen Porter. Now, rightfully so, Gabriel Murphy, in terms of UDFA edge rushers, gets a lot of the publicity, but Owen Porter's doing a little something. Same thing with Bo Richter to a degree. And I think that they're names that you're going to have to be watching for during preseason, because I think that they could put on some good tape and make a really good case for making the practice squad. Number 6, so Theo Jackson. Now, also could have put Carry On My Jayward Son in here as well, but Theo Jackson, former 6th-round pick by the Titans out of Tennessee, he evolved. And basically, ever since he got here, whether it's playing special teams or being versatile on defense, he was Josh Metellus' de facto backup last season, looks to be that same role this year. I mean, Jackson was Johnny on the spot, and he's really damn good. And like I said, you could put Jay Ward, Carry On My Jayward Son, in the spot too. He's playing some corner, also plays some good special teams, and kind of good to go there. Number 5, cornerback Dwight McLaughlin. So, I mean, Dwight's really stepped up nicely, playing primarily with the 2s, a little bit with the 1s, and the Vikings certainly do have a need outside at corner, as Sylvie is. What are you doing? The Vikings certainly do have a need outside at corner. And basically, you just need someone who can hold down the outside, right? We got 17,000 dudes who can play the slot, but can you be out on an island? Can you handle your boundary? Can you do all that stuff? And McLaughlin, LSU, Arkansas, highly rated last year, went undrafted because metrics-wise, RAS-wise, it didn't check all the boxes. But also, sorry, his nickname is Nudie, which I kind of like to think that it's super-related. But, of course, maybe that's just an Asian thing. I don't know, man. But, yeah, McLaughlin, very solid case for making the 53 and going from there. Number 4, Gabriel Murphy. Now, you could say that this is kind of low. Fully get it. But Murphy probably going to be a 53-man rooster lock. And I think that he is going to be a guy as Sylvie knocks over that Come on, man. Come on. I think that Murphy's going to be a lock to make the 53 as an edge rusher. And behind AVG, Grenard, Diamond Dallas Turner, and on par with Patrick Jones second as well. He's gotten some first-team reps. I think that he's a guy that, in terms of what Flores wants to do, you have these quick and fast edge rushers on the outside who can also run and cover and make plays. I mean, Gabriel Murphy is going to be your guy. Number 3, so again, this one's going to be controversial, but Johnny Munt, and I understand, like, he's sort of outside of the parameters that we laid out. He's not a rookie. He's not on his rookie deal, but he's a guy who's sort of bounced around with the Rams, came over with the Vikings, with the Rams coaching contingent. But he has a big opportunity because Hawkinson's been slowed a bit in terms of recovery. TBD if he'll be on the PUP list or not. And until he gets back at 100%, the receiving tight end spots, I mean, going to have a big-time opportunity. And also Tanyan having those back spasms sort of eliminated competition. Josh Oliver is the blocking tight end. And like we said before, like Munt, last year after Hawkinson got hurt, Johnny Munt was in those 2-minute drills, not Josh Oliver or anyone else. So they do trust Munt, and he's built up some quick chemistry with Sam Darnold that certainly can't hurt, having the trust of the guy who's probably going to be your starting quarterback throughout most of the season. So, yeah, I do think that Munt, even though he's a little bit older, it certainly has overachieved at training camp. Number 2, Jalen Speedy Naylor. Now, this is like a broken clock. You could say that Jalen Naylor could have had a case last year. Well, if Ivan Pace Jr. wasn't Ivan Pace Jr., but Naylor was here, got hurt last year. But he's a guy that potentially is going to solidify that wide receiver 3 spot. I think Powell they like a lot, but in terms of a true blue full route tree wide receiver, I think that Naylor could be that guy. And again, knocking down all the wood if he stays healthy, I think he could really carve out a nice role behind Jefferson and Addison, especially if Hawkinson is up on blocks for a while. Lastly, number 1, you know what it is. LDR. Levi Drake Rodriguez. So you love the story. There goes that. So you love the story. Heart and hustle, 7th rounder, Texas A&M Commerce, and first in the building, last to leave, and he's gonna bust his ass, and you love that attitude. And plus, I feel like he's sort of underrated as a prospect. Like he isn't a combine freak, and also yes, small school production, but I really like him. I really, really like him. And I think that once he shines in preseason, like he's going to become the next Paul Bunyan. He's going to become a folk hero amongst the fan base. And I think right now he probably is the leader in the clubhouse. Like he's been getting some first-team reps. Like if he shows up and shows out in preseason, gets a couple good pressures, gets a couple good sacks, and all of a sudden you're off to the races. Yeah, I think that he could certainly solidify the Earl of Eagan title. Although Murphy's in the mix too. Who knows? Anyways, that's it. Current Earl of Eagan rankings, a.k.a. sort of Mr. Mankato. Let us know your thoughts, our thoughts, comment section below. You guys know what to do. Skull Production Value.